In this week's Torah portion, Vayetze, which by the way is one of the most esoteric, mystical Torah portions, in my opinion. So we have Jacob, right? He's run away from home. He comes to Lavan, who's also somehow, family. And Lavan is a real, piece of, pardon my French, a real mamzer, a vildachaya. And we know what happens there. I'm not going to get into it. Jacob wants Rachel, the daughter. He gets cheated into marrying Leah. He has to work 7 years, another 7 years. We can debate whether Lavan cheating Jacob is actually justice or not. It doesn't matter. After years of cheating, years of problematic relationship, Jacob decides to bugger off. He takes his wives. They leave. Lavan hears about this because they leave in the quiet of the night. Jacob and Lavan is on the pursuit. We have this great action scene. In the middle of the action scene, there is one verse, one very odd mystical verse, where we are told that Lavan falls asleep. God comes to him and says to him, "Don't you dare speak any words of evil or good to Jacob." End of scene. Back to the action. Horses running after them. Lavan and Jacob meet. They make peace, and everything ends okay, except one problem. At the end of the Torah portion, Lavan cannot help himself. Just before he leaves, he blesses Jacob. Now, God warned him, don't say any good or evil. Now, why does God have to ask him not to say any good or evil, right? Well, he's God. He can just make Lavan not say any bad. Why does he even have to ask this? Or why not just say to him, just say good, just give him a blessing? Why not good or evil? And then why is Lavan coming and then blessing despite what God told him? How does Lavan have this power? One fundamental question between Kabbalists and philosophers in Judaism is, and not only between Kabbalists and philosophers in Judaism, is there a real force of evil in this world? Right? A philosopher will say, there is no real force of evil. Bad things happen because people make silly mistakes. Bad things happen, that's part of the world. A Kabbalist will say no. Just like there is a good force that created this world, there is also an evil force that wants to fight against that good force. In a nutshell, the story of the Bible in a Kabbalistic viewpoint is the good force, God, creates the world. It is a shattered world with problems, and then we need to fix this. So how do we fix this? We create and then bless the people of Israel. We bring them to the land of Israel. We give them commandments, and somehow through these actions that they are meant to do in a relationship with the rest of the people in the world, we are meant to heal this world. There are forces of evil that are constantly going against that project, trying to break and shatter the people of Israel, thus shattering this world. That is the story in a nutshell. And I think that is the context of what is going on here. By the way, in 13th century Provence, there is a fascinating Kabbalist. I can imagine Provence, it's July, he's sitting and watching the lavender fields blossom, right, full of rich purple and blue skies, gorgeous view, and he is thinking, what is the source of evil? And you know what he comes up with? That evil sprouts from the good force. There is a blurry difference. There is a battle between the good and evil, and a constant blurriness between the good project and the bad project. And I think that's what's happening here. When God comes to Lavan and says to him, don't you dare speak evil or good, it's because God knows that Lavan symbolizes the evil that is constantly looking to blur the difference between good and bad. And Lavan, the evil forces in this week's Torah portion, actually win. It's 1-0 for the evil forces, because by Lavan blessing Jacob, he's in fact cursing him. And for years, right, this then leads, we have then the Holocaust in Egypt, part of this blessing of Lavan. And when did the good forces beat the evil forces? Much later in Parshat Bamidbar, when we meet Bilam. Bilam, another sorcerer like Lavan, wants to curse the Israelites and thus kill them. And we are told in one of the earliest Aramaic translations by Yonatan ben Uziel, who is Bilam? Yonatan ben Uziel says that Bilam is Lavan. Now it doesn't matter whether he's his grandson or his reincarnated soul. The point is, they are one and the same. This is the evil forces that are trying to break the good forces project of the people of Israel and healing the world. And as you recall, when Bilam wants to curse the Israelites, he actually blesses them. This is God fixing what happened here, and the good forces win for now, but there's this constant battle which starts in Vayetze. Mystical thoughts on Parashat Vayetze. Shabbat Shalom.